Hi, I'm Gerald, and today we're going to demonstrate how to install Ubuntu Server as a virtual machine using VirtualBox software. Ubuntu Server is going to be the second server that we install for this project. We can see Ubuntu Server here on the network map, and it will be assigned an IP address of 192.168.200.3. The first step of the installation process is to set up a new virtual machine. And to do that, we'll go up here and just click on New for New Virtual Machine. The first step is to name the virtual machine, and we'll just call it Ubuntu Server. And the operating system type is Linux. Version, we'll leave it at Ubuntu 64-bit because we have a 64-bit ISO file. We'll click Next here. The recommended memory size is 1 GB, so we'll just leave it at that. We will create a virtual hard disk now, and the recommended size is 8 GB, so we'll just click Create here. The hard disk file type, we'll leave it at VirtualBox disk image. And here is asking if we want to choose a fixed size disk or dynamically allocated, and we'll leave it at dynamically allocated. And we need to verify the information here and click Create for the virtual hard disk. Okay, the next thing we need to do is adjust the settings. So we'll click on Ubuntu Server and go up here and click Settings. We'll first adjust the network settings. So for adapter 1, we need to make sure it's enabled, and we'll go down here and click on Internal Network, and the internal network name is pfSense. And we also need to go to Storage, click on our CD optical drive, click here so we can select a file, and we'll just click here to choose the file. And we've already downloaded the Ubuntu Server ISO, so we'll select it and click Open and verify that it's attached and click OK. Next, we'll just start the virtual machine, and it will begin the installation process. Okay, first it's asking us to select a language, and we'll select English. And now it's asking for us to select one of the options from the menu, and we want to install Ubuntu Server. Now it's asking us to choose a language for the installation process, and we'll select English. We want to select a location, and we'll leave it at United States because that's where we're located. Now it's asking us to select a keyboard layout, and it wants to know if we want to auto detect it or manually detect it. We'll just click No for manual detection and select English US and English US for the keyboard layout. Now it is detecting hardware. Okay, now it's wanting us to enter a host name for this system, and I think we'll just call it Ubuntu Server. Ubuntu Server, and then click Continue. Or actually, we'll tab over and click Continue because the mouse isn't active yet. Okay, it's asking us to create a user account to use instead of the root account. So we'll just type in my full name and tab over to continue. Now it's wanting a username, and I'll type in G Earnhardt for the user account name, and then click continue. Now we need to enter a password for the new user account. And we'll click continue and verify it. And click continue. Now it's asking if we want to encrypt the home directory, and I'll just click no for now. It says based on our present physical location, your time zone is American New York, and that is correct, so we'll just click yes. Okay, now it's asking us to partition the disk, and it wants a partitioning method, and the recommended method is guided, use the entire disk and set up as a LVM. So we'll just select that. We need to verify this and select the disk to partition. This is the only disk that we've got, so we'll just select it. And it's asking us if we want to write changes, and I'll click yes. And it's asking if we want to use the whole volume group or not, or just part of it. We'll just use the whole volume group and click continue. And it's asking us to verify everything and to click yes to write changes to disk. So we'll click yes. Now it's asking us if we need to use an HTTP proxy to access the outside world. And we do not need to use an HTTP proxy, so we'll just leave it blank and click continue. Now it's asking us to configure the updates, and we'll just leave it at no automatic updates for now since we're on the virtual machine. Okay, now it's asking us to select which software we want to install, and we'll just select the standard system utilities for now. Click continue. Okay, now it's asking us if we want to install the Grub bootloader on the hard disk, and we'll just select yes. It's telling us that the installation is complete, so it's time to boot into our new system. So we just click continue. And we'll go up here to input, or the optical drive, and make sure it's not selected. So now it's asking us to log on, so we'll type in our username, click enter, and type in the password. And now we're logged in to Linux server. The first thing that we need to do is to set up the static IP address. And to do this, we can edit the etc/network/interfaces configuration file. So to do that, we'll just enter sudo vi/etc/network/interfaces, and that will allow us to edit the interfaces file. Enter our password, And now we just click I for insert, and we'll go to the interface that we want and change it from DHCP to static. And then on the next line, we'll enter our information for our static IP address. So we'll type in address space 192.168.200.3 because we want to assign this static IP address to this computer. And then we'll enter net mask to set our subnet mask. And it will be 255.255.255.0 for a C-class subnet mask. And our network will be 192.168.200.0. And our broadcast address will be 192.168.200.255. And our gateway, we can set that as 192.168.200.1. And we can also set our DNS name server, and we can set that as our default gateway for now. And just verify that everything looks okay. And we can hit escape :WQ for right quit, and that will save our changes. And we can do a cat command on the tc/network/interface file to verify that everything got changed correctly. And it looks like our address is 192.168.200.3. Subnet mask is set. Network is correct. Broadcast address looks good. And our gateway looks okay. So now we just need to refresh everything and reload our configuration file. So I'll just type in reboot to reboot the system and reread all the files. Okay, we need to log in. Now we can type in ifconfig to verify that our changes were applied. Now it looks like our INET address is 192.168.200.3, which is correct. Broadcast address is correct. Net mask is correct. And everything looks okay. So now we can do our connectivity test. So what we can do is use ping/c3 and ping Google to check see if we have a internet connection, and it looks correct. Looks like everything's working fine. Now we can ping our default gateway of 192.168.200.1 and just hit Control-C to stop the ping. And we can do the default gateway on our WAN, which is 192.168.1.1. And it looks like everything's working correctly. So this completes the installation of Ubuntu Server on VirtualBox.